What does it really mean to have an extraordinary career? Today, you're going to hear an incredible story. World-class filmmaker and producer Jason.
I got in the film business 36 years ago. This August, 36 years ago. Was doing A-levels at school. My passion was making movies. You know, I did a couple of big movies like Cry Freedom with Denzel Washington and Grizz and Miss with Sigourney Weaver. Frank Sinatra before he died. I worked with Frank. I worked with, Guns N' Roses. I worked with a lot of the big bands doing a lot of their stuff. And so I came home and discussed it. Our wife, we all felt it was, we were game for the change and the kids were the right age. So I spoke to a couple of people and he said, well, I know someone, and he mentioned you, Ingram. So I phoned you up and your attitude was so positive. It was a no-brainer for me to go with you, rather than going for the 01, just go straight to the EB-1. My wife couldn't work here under the 01. My boys were going to graduate in a couple of years at school. And if I stayed on an 01, it would have put them in a very restricted position because they couldn't have done any work. Well, to begin with, it's quite daunting because you have to do a lot of research into yourself and gather as much material as you can. And actually, after a while, it was quite fun to suddenly look back at my career and see what I have done and to contact people that I haven't worked for a long time who were really supportive, But I've got to be honest, it actually went so smoothly with you, and I'm not selling it. It actually went so smoothly. For me, it was after the fact then from my wife, that she could go and work. That was a huge thing, and the kids now are all working here, and two of them are working, and one's graduating this year. When we first moved here, they were very angry for a year, and angry at Dad for tearing you away from their kids. And I had a bet with them. I said that in a couple of years' time, you'll be more sad if you had to leave America or go back to England than the other way around. They're completely California boys now. Stepping into the unknown and seeing what blossomed has really been a wonderful journey. You just got to go for it, follow your gut, because that's what many friends know. I said, just do it. Yeah, I recommend everybody to you because I really trust you, and everything that you did for me and everybody I've recommended is proved to work out extremely well. And sometimes there's an adventure on that journey as well. But it's an adventure, and it's all worked out in the end.
At the law offices of Chris M. Ingram, every story matters. Let's build yours. Book your free consultation today.